Bad news. It does not look like Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano will do an immediate rematch because the IBF has ordered Jermell Charlo to fight somebody else is mandatory. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's jump right into it. The IBF have now officially ordered Jermell Charlo to defend his super welterweight titles against overdue mandatory Bakram Bertazalev next, obstructing a rematch with Brian Castano. They have 30 days to negotiate, then it goes to purse bid. So I can imagine fans aren't happy. Let me look at some of the comments. No undisputed rematch this year now. I thought undisputed fights come before mandatory. They usually do. No over unification, Castano. Look at that. Yeah, that's exactly how everybody feels. That Jim Carrey clip is hilarious. I don't want it. Man, this is what's wrong in boxing. You have Castano, who said he wanted the rematch. Jermell Charlo, let's take a look at him. He posted this message. I made a video about it. This is why you guys got to follow my channel for the latest and greatest. Jermell Charlo says, Brian Castano is one hell of a better fighter than anyone gave him credit for, and he came to fight for his life Saturday. If fights are scored as a whole, I landed the harder and better shots, but boxing isn't scored that way. Boxing is scored round by round. I've always said to take a belt from a champion, you need to take the belt, and the judges felt neither of us did enough to take those other belts away, ruled it a draw. I don't want to become undisputed by a narrow, controversial decision. I want to make a statement. I didn't do my part to get the KO, the knockout, and as always, I will strive and continue to learn and improve. When we run it back, just like I adjusted in the Harrison 2 fight, there will be no doubt about the results. So obviously, that's a public statement from the boy Jermell Charlo, lines only. Yeah, keep running your mouth, keep running your mouth, right? And this is what plagues boxing. It's like both fighters want the rematch. I know the fans, including myself, want the rematch. And then something like this comes up where he has to fight Bakram or whoever this guy is. I've never even heard of that guy, FYI. You know what I mean? So that completely dashes the notion that Jermell Charlo can or is likely to fight Castano this year. So I told you I was happy with the draw. Not saying I'm happy, but I thought that was the fair result. And I guess we have to wait a little bit longer to try to get this resolved and undisputed. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And this is on Charlo's side. I think the same goes for Castano. They're trying to load him up with mandatory. So, you know, who knows what will happen. If either guy lost beforehand, then that could impact or hurt the fight. Because I remember Jermell Charlo and Swift Jared Hurd, everybody wanted to see the fight. And people were talking about that fight. And it didn't happen. And before it got a chance to happen, Swift Jared Hurd ended up losing to J-Rock, who ended up losing to Jason Rosario. And the rest is history. So now we never got that fight. So this is the problems and the ills with the world of boxing. These are the types of things that happen. At this point, I would like to see PBC just come out with their own belts. Enough is enough. Because if they had one, like the UFC, a PBC champion, everybody know who would be the top dog, and then you didn't have to worry about these separate mandates and authorizations and forced fights in situations like this. When the fighters want the rematch, the fans demand the rematch. People want to see you strike while the iron's hot. If you had your own PBC belts, you can kind of create the rules and the governing body. Plus, all these belts that Jermell Charlo has, he has to pay for. The sanctioning fees are a lot more than people think. So you could also keep some of those fees down, and that's by keeping it in-house. So it's long rumored that PBC was thinking about possibly making their own belt, I think it's about that time. Also, you wouldn't have to worry about like some of these pound for pound lists. Like you see Jermell Charlo got the Ring Magazine belt, but they won't even put him on the top 10 pound for pound list even before the Castano fight. So you can't say, oh, it's because I thought Castano beat him, because before and also after, you never even put Jermell Charlo on the pound for pound list. So that's a cop out. So I think a lot of problems would be identified and thwarted if they just made their own belt. PBC, they got the roster to do it. They got the infrastructure. They got the 2 networks with Fox and Showtime. And then you wouldn't have to worry about people putting a block to certain great fights if the fighters want it and the fans want it. Just my thoughts. Use my link in the description to get TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is an awesome browser extension to help you make money on this platform. Take your content to the next level by optimizing it. Consider TubeBuddy. I've been using it for years. Started off with 0 subscribers. Now we're over 200,000 and counting. Use TubeBuddy. Click the link in the description. Let me know what you guys think of this whole fiasco. Jermell Charlo does not look like Twin Charlo will be able to fight Castano in a rematch immediately. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video. Ego signing off. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.